Warning. The following podcast is stressed out and needs a glass of wine and a bath. This is Crudimentary Questions with your hosts, Sandy and Jill.
Hi, Jill.
Hey, Sandy.
I have a question for you today.
Oh, I am waiting.
Okay. Aggressive.
I'm sorry.
Tell me the story of when you lost your virginity.
Ooh, okay. Well, it was Panama City, 1997.
Gross. I've been to Panama
Wait,
City.
Is my math right? No, 1999. Anyway,
It's still gross.
in the 90s.
In the night.
Panama City, spring break.
Oh my God.
This is already way off topic. But okay. So I met this guy at spring break. We're making out for the first time on the beach. That sounds really hot, right? Except
No, I mean I know.
you know about this, Sandy.
I knew you were gonna do that.
We've talked about how beach is a problem when it comes to romantic entangling.
Because you think it's gonna be like that scene in that movie that everybody talks about. It's the really old film. It's black and white, and they're like,
Oh, the music video?
oh no, oh I know which one you're talking about.
The Chris Isaac?
Yes.
Wicked Game.
Oh my God.
Wicked Game. Wait, how does that go? That music video was like the number one like example of hottest sex
In a
reenactment
in a music video.
in a music video
at the time.
You watch it, you want to copy them.
Yeah, I mean it's Chris Isaac looks fine. And I mean fine, like he looks very good. And it's shot in black and white, and there's this model, I can't remember her name, but she's beautiful giant eyes, and they are just rolling in the ocean,
And the waves are coming up onto shore, and there's like sand all over
but they get sand all over themselves.
It had to be uncomfortable.
Well, and she's in like a bikini, and guys, like sand in your hoo-ha is an issue.
Well, and I will confirm.
And that's just swimming. That's just swimming in the ocean, not like rolling around in the sand.
Well, and I will confirm that, So, anyway, how does it go?
No, I don't want to fall in love with you. No, I
Okay, no
don't
more.
wanna
Copyright.
fuck in the sand with you.
Okay, so
Yeah, so like the having sex on a beach is definitely not all it's cracked up to be.
well, and so we started this with the virginity question. I don't know.
Right. We
And
still
I
need to get
didn't-
to that.
I did not have sex on the beach. It was very close to, but not quite. I ended up losing my virginity much later. So the guy that I met at spring break was a senior. He was only 17 though.
Oh.
It's illegal.
And you were 15.
And I was 15. Anyway, so then we started. So he wanted a spring fling, right? And I was like, no, I'm a virgin. You know what?
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't do that.
You're like, I'm not a spring
So
fling.
then he decided he would court me for like 4 months
To get the pussy.
to get the puss.
Yeah. And he got it.
That's a weird way to say it, but I'm pretty sure that's what transcended. Because I finally said, okay, I would like to lose my virginity because I was in love with him by that point. And so I did, and then we dated for another 2 months, and then he broke up with me, and then.
Wait, he broke up with you before he had the puss?
Oh no, after
After.
many instances of puss.
That's about right.
But I guess there was one time that scared him because we didn't use a condom.
Jill!
I know.
You know now.
I blame the education system. My sex ed class was a joke.
Y'all, wrap it the fuck up.
They didn't teach us that.
Do you see a big happy dong in front of you?
Wrap that shit up.
Wrap that. I mean, it's like, here's the thing. Like, it's great. Still. Like, it's not. I know it's better without a condom. I acknowledge that.
Do some form of contraception.
Yeah, but wrap that shit up, man. Like, it's just not worth the worry or the pain, and it's still really great. It is still really fun to have sex with a wrapped up dick. Yeah, is what I'm saying.
Oh, I mean, he did pull it out, so
seriously not okay.
It's like a 75% chance.
I gotta say, like, I've
still
tried...
a failing grade, or no, it's a C.
No, that's a failing.
It's a C average. But anyway,
I don't want C average sex. I'm sorry, I don't want a guy.
Average.
No, I don't want a guy pulling out right when it's about to get like amazing.
Because he might not pull out like at the right time. Anyway, but so he was freaked out by that. So then he broke up with me, and then he joined the ministry.
What ministry?
Like priesthood.
So are you like Catholic?
I don't know exactly. I think he moved to Australia. Does this sound like a fake story?
Yes, it does.
Like a fake
it absolutely does.
But that's what I remember. The rumors in high school.
Okay, wait. So, what religion was he previous? Like when you guys were banging?
I think Catholic.
He was Catholic.
Yeah.
So he broke up with you and then became a priest. You fucked a guy into celibacy.
I did.
That is amazing.
I at least I think I did.
Oh, sure. No, this is what happened. He had your pussy and was like, can't do better. Can't do better.
No.
And so, no, I swear to God, he's in Australia somewhere, like crossing himself, being a good priest, being like, Jill was the ultimate pussy.
No, here's what happened, Sandy. He was like, I'm going to get in this girl's pants. I'm so excited about it. And then he does, and he's like, oh no, shit, I almost got a 15-year-old pregnant. I should tame this dick of mine. And then he went and, joined priesthood.
I like my story better.
It is probably more fun, I guess.
Oh, come on. Your pussy's glorious.
You don't know that.
I don't know, but I assume.
So I'm going to switch subjects to your virginity tale.
Oh, God.
Your losing of that precious jewel.
Mine is the worst. I have two separate, incredibly stupid stories.
Okay.
About losing my virginity.
You lost it twice?
Kind of.
Okay. I'm on board.
One was this guy who was both of them were next door neighbors of mine, which is really dumb because it's like, oh, if you live next to me, you get to have sex with me.
So you're like the girl next door.
I'm the girl next door. I seriously am. One was a I don't want to say his name because I don't want to.
Oh, please don't.
Please don't. But let's just call him let's call him George.
Names have been changed to protect the innocent. Names have been changed.
This guy's name is not George, but I'm going to call him George. So anyway, George, he worked at a restaurant. And so we would go to the restaurant and he would get me free drinks, which I very, consensually had. And he had plenty of free drinks too. It wasn't
the drinks were consensual.
Yeah, the drinks were consensual.
FYI.
And not enough to like be blackout drunk or anything. Like just like silly. We would just feel silly. And then we would go back to his house and we would make out. And eventually the making out led to more stuff. But the thing that's really funny about all of this is that he was a musician like myself. And he had a delay pedal that would record both his guitar and his vocals. I don't exactly know how that worked, but he had that all set up, right?
Yep. Yes.
And so he would set up his delay pedal to play a song that he'd written that was about...
Was it? No, I wanna fall in love.
It was not the Chris Isaak song. I wish so bad it was. It wasn't.
And then you were like, "Oh, give me that D."
Give me the D. I want the. Well, here's the thing. I wanted the D no matter what. Like, I wanted his dick. Like, I was.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no. He's an attractive guy, and I,
You were ready.
I
How old were you?
I was about 23.
Oh, yeah.
And-
You were
yeah.
thirsty.
I was thirsty. Yeah, I lost my virginity super late.
Oh,
And,
my God. That's almost a decade
later than
later
you.
than me.
Okay, good to know. Jill's been eating dick way longer than I have.
I don't like calling it that.
But it's great. I loved it.
The idea of my vagina being a mouth is very haunting to me.
That is haunting, but like, isn't that something what you think about when you like sit on a dick and you just kind of like, like
so
like settle into it? You know, like, do you think?
Well, now I'm going to. Thanks for ruining sex for me, Sandy.
I'm not trying to ruin sex. It makes. I love that. That's like something super exciting to me.
No.
I love thinking about just like, yeah.
I don't know why, but I go like full horror movie and like imagine it with teeth and stuff. It's
You
like
don't have
really
to imagine
creepy.
it with teeth. It's not teeth.
It's like freaking Tim Curry
But I mean,
from It down there.
I mean, this is a longer conversation that we could have. But like, when you suck a dick, you're not exactly like teething on it. You know,
No,
like you're using the other parts of your mouth,
right.
using your tongue and like all of
The
that.
teeth
But
are there though.
the teeth are there, but
They're
you
very
don't
close.
clamp.
Oh, I would not do that.
Yeah, so that's what I think about with the vagina. If I'm thinking about the vagina like a
But it
mouth
actually
a little
is
bit.
good to, Kegel muscle.
Yeah, you can clamp with your vagina because that's the thing. Your vagina doesn't actually have teeth.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You're freaking me out here comparing it to a mouth.
But don't think about it that way.
I like comparing it to like a cave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A cave that contracts,
Yeah.
expands.
And like the penis is like the little the lumbering bear that gets like climb inside.
a bear.
He's just like a bear.
Oh, a nice bear.
He's just hibernating for the
oh,
winter.
it's just a nice bear. He's just
he's tired.
he's cozy.
He's
a
all
cozy-
cozy in there.
He's a cozy bear.
But I mean, sex for me is like
And then you
comfortable-
fuck him.
Okay, Bear. Bear, I'd like you to go in and out of this cave repeatedly,
Just-
very quickly.
Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. No, I can't explain why. No, just do it.
And then you can hibernate for a little while, but only for a little while. And then you have to get the fuck out.
All right. Anyway, I was talking about losing my virginity.
Oh my God.
So this guy named George, he worked at a restaurant. Yeah, we would go back to his place and we would get kind of silly. This is the really funny thing is that because I was talking about he had a delay pedal that would play. It would record his guitar and vocals for this one song. And so he would turn on like the pedal and the amp. So it would play the song that he'd been working on
That's cute.
while we made out.
That's cute.
It's not cute. It's narcissistic and weird.
Oh. I kind of think it's cute.
And I mean, that's fine, but like in the moment I was like, I was into his body. I was into him, you know.
It's like, whatever.
I was like, whatever. Looking back on it, that's incredibly strange. Like that he was playing.
It's kind of like having sex to your own sex tape.
It is like having sex to your own sex tape.
Yeah.
So he would play this pedal. He would just turn on the pedal. So it would play his singing and his guitar playing while we were like doing stuff and feeling each other's bodies. And at some point I was like, I think he might be getting off on his own singing, like his own song.
Whatever works, man.
Well, I mean, whatever works. But like at the time I was like, I'm 23. Like I have a beautiful body. Like, why aren't you getting off on me? You know, like, why do you need your own?
Narcissism.
Narcissism. So anyway, it didn't last very long. I lost my
Sex?
No, the sex didn't. All of this was spanned about probably 2 months, and the actual sex that we finally had lasted about maybe 7 minutes.
7 minutes in.
7 minutes. 7 minutes start to finish. I'm talking 7 minutes, like at the beginning of, look, if you set a timer, like 7, 6:59, 6:58, 6. That's when we started taking our clothes off.
Oh.
By the end of that timer, like, he was already inside me and he'd already come. Like, it was already really fast.
So was it his first time too?
It was not his first time, but here's the thing that sort of gets weird, is that he barely stuck it in me.
Oh.
Like, he did stick it in me.
But it was
just
for a second.
It was seriously just the tip.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't get, like...
You didn't have an orgasm?
No, at all. I mean, I there was a lot of pleasure.
Sure.
Up until then, but no, not at all. Like it was basically 6 minutes and 50 seconds of foreplay, and then 10 seconds of sex. Then he kind of put it in me, then he pulled it right out, then he came, and then we were done.
Nice.
And I get to call that losing my virginity.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So the second real time is like when you full on had sex.
Yeah.
I
So, I mean, I feel like that was sex. I mean, like, he put his penis inside of my vagina, but it just didn't last very long.
Yeah. Well, do you think he broke your hymen? You're a horseback rider, so your hymen was already pretty broken, probably.
No, actually, he didn't break my hymen.
But you were a horseback rider, so
I was, but
that
didn't break my hymen.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, that's a strong hymen.
I guess I had a pretty I had a pretty bulletproof hymen, because I didn't when I bled, which is a thing girls do. I finally bled. I think because the next person I had sex with was my husband, or the person who became my husband. So I've only had sex with 2 people, and the second one was we weren't even dating, but it was the person that I ended up marrying, and it was probably the 4th time that we'd had sex that my hymen, well, I don't even want to say my hymen broke, because I know the hymen's a stretchy thing, so it's not like I know that you just kind of stretch it and then eventually it bleeds. So it was probably the 4th time we had sex that I bled.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I bled like a murder victim.
Oh man, I just imagine your hymen to be like this like thick, like webbing of.
Well, it's a membrane. It's not like a straight piece of skin. You know what I mean? Like, so you can stretch it. Like, you can have sex and stretch the hymen and not actually cause any blood, and then eventually will cause. Did you bleed the first time?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. I did. And it was kind of painful. The first time there's a lot of like problems with the first time, because it was prom night.
Oh my god, it was prom night.
So there was a lot of like expectation there, and then.
Were you expecting to have sex on prom night?
I was.
You were, okay.
Well, I told him, we were like making out, and I was like, I'm ready.
Oh my god.
And he was like, oh, sweet. And then he took off his pants. I'm like, oh, wait.
Fuck.
Oh, shit.
Fuck.
No, it was all good. It was all kosher.
Real quick. This is totally off topic.
Yeah.
But I just really want to know, what did your prom dress look like?
Well, it's funny that you say that, because the prom dress plays a part in this night of losing my virginity. So we have sex, and it's one of those like really awesome sex scenes in movies where you're like tearing off each other's clothes and shit.
Yeah.
And it's real passionate, real amazing. Mm-hmm. And then it becomes honed in a little bit, because you realize, oh, he's about to do the thing that makes me not a virgin anymore. Where
he's
he
about
puts
to
the penis inside of me.
Right. So you're making out, and you're like, make
So it's like,
out. It's great.
It's like, everything, and then
It's great. And then you're like, oh shit.
Shoot.
But
But he was really gentle and really slow about that moment.
Oh,
but it still kind of hurt, and it still bled and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Blah blah. Anyway, but afterwards, and I don't know, it didn't last. Like you said, like he just was worried about hurting me mostly.
Oh, that's so sweet.
So it kind of just fizzled out, I'll say. Because it's kind of like I wasn't ready.
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
I was. I was, but my body was just like,
no. Your first time is wacky.
Yeah, it was wacky.
Yeah, like it's okay.
It was nice.
You have the rest of your life to have amazing sex.
It was nice until I realized that I was like, I don't know how to have sex. I've never done this before, and I don't know how to do it. So
I'm really
here
good.
I am.
I'm really good. I'm
The
really good.
foreplay is great.
I'm
but
really good at making out, and all of a sudden you're like,
I was like, I don't even know.
I don't know how.
What do? But so the great thing after that is when I was trying to put my dress back on, the zipper had broken.
Shit.
And I couldn't zip it up at all. And so the dress was like it was black and purple.
Sounds about right.
With like black gauzy. It was like a purple fabric.
Yeah.
And then on top of that was like a black sheer gauzy effect.
Was it like
With
a big skirt?
No, it was like it was a formal dress, very straight down and then kind of mermaided out at the bottom.
Okay, mermaid, yeah.
And it had little black sequins jewels everywhere, and I had my hair up. But
one day I want to see a picture of this. This sounds
so great. I mean, just seeing this night, just seeing this night from my parents' perspective would be me looking beautiful, and then me coming home and my hair is disheveled, and my dress is broken.
They are not idiots.
And my mom was like, "What happened to your dress?" And I was like, "It broke while I was using the bathroom."
Your parents are.
Cheers, Mom.
Thanks, Mom. Your parents are not idiots.
Yeah, I know.
That's a real that's a sex hairdo right there.
Well, and I don't know. Who knows what our parents knew, did not reveal that they knew. Probably a lot.
Well, there is a lot, because it's funny to talk about virginity, because my parents valued my virginity kind of above like my health, you know?
And I was going to mention this were they as crazy about your brother's virginities as
Absolutely, yes.
Oh,
yes.
Oh, all the kids were equally.
Yeah. I will say this, I don't know if it's been obvious yet, but I was raised a very hardcore evangelical Christian, and I'm quite upset.
I mean, yeah, it is obvious, Sandy, because you're so button-lipped about, really important and vulgar topics. You just won't talk about anything.
Well, I didn't for so long, and that's why, or my family didn't, and so now it's sort of like the beast has been let out of the cage. But I will say that
You mean the bear has been let out of the cave? No?
The bear. The bear that was crawling in the cage and getting cozy, and the cage being Jill's pussy.
No, it's a cave, not a cage.
I was raised very, very, sexuality was an incredibly contained thing. And so any expression of sexuality at all was like, shut it down.
Outside of marriage.
Outside of marriage. But even in marriage, like, obviously, like married people can have sex, whatever, but it's still like they didn't talk about it, you know?
Do you think there's like kinky sex though still do you think your parents get kinky?
I think my parents did, just because they were always a little on the, they would hate this, but on the liberal side of conservative Christians. But I've definitely talked to, I was in ministry for years. I was a worship leader and, I just youth ministry and that sort of thing. When I was in that ministry, I talked to a bunch of people who thought that oral sex, like giving your husband a blowjob, was sinful.
Because it wouldn't make children.
Just because they thought it was gross, they had absolutely no theological reason to back it up. They just were like, "Oh, that's dirty."
Because that's what a lot of Catholic beliefs are. Don't use contraceptive.
Mm-hmm.
Only have sex if you're married.
Yeah, only have sex if you want to have kids.
Only have sex
all
if you
of
want to have
that.
kids.
I mean, you and I think we can acknowledge this, right?
What?
We have sex for pleasure.
Oh, yeah. And I have sex for connection.
Mm-hmm.
I want to connect with the person that I like. It is making love. As cheesy as that sounds.
No,
to me, that's what it is, and it's not.
No, it's completely cheesy, but it's also completely true.
And it's like an aftermath of that. Okay, I'll compare it to this.
Right.
It's like eating ice cream. It's like eating ice cream because, like, you could eat ice cream alone, and it's pretty good, right?
Sure. I don't like ice cream that much, but...
Okay, well, you're not 100% of people.
Well, we can... I will compare it to eating stuffed crust pizza.
Okay. We can do that. That works.
Yeah.
Eating stuffed crust... Actually, that's perfect. Eating stuffed crust pizza.
Yeah.
Okay. You can eat it by yourself, and it's great.
It's great.
But sharing it with another person and someone that you love,
who is also enjoying stuffed crust pizza,
really enjoying stuffed crust pizza with you, it's like a whole other layer,
and you get
of pleasure.
You get to look at each other and be like, "How great is this stuffed crust pizza?"
You get to stuff your face
with stuffed crust
pizza, and like across from each other, be like, "Yeah." And that's what it is.
Yeah,
I like this analogy.
So, I love it.
I mean, I agree with you. It is pleasure,
mm-hmm.
and I think it's very important for us as women to realize women have pleasure zones too.
Yeah,
I think that's sometimes really tricky because in high school, like if you're sexually active, if you're a boy, you're like a player,
mm-hmm.
right? You're just like, but if you're a girl, you're a slut, right?
Well, that was what it was when we were in high school. It might be different now, but I know what you're saying. Yeah, like if a guy gets a bunch of girls, he's like, "Oh, good for you,
good job."
Yeah, and if a girl sleeps with a bunch of guys, she's a slut.
It's very negative.
Yeah, and we would like to take that, or at least make it equal. Everybody
call the boys a slut.
Call the boys a slut, or call the girls a player. I don't give a shit.
Just make it the same.
I had third base relationships with so many dudes.
Third base is oral sex.
Yes. Yeah.
Second base
and oral.
is hands.
Well, I had hands and oral sex with many, 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 many people all at the same time. But I only actually had penetrative sex with 2 people.
Did you ever have a foreplay in a movie theater?
Yeah.
Oh, me too.
I mean, well, you mean foreplay, did it lead to penetrative sex?
Oh, no. I mean, like, what do I mean by foreplay?
I made out in a movie theater.
Well, okay. Making out, a check. Hand job, check. Fingering?
I didn't do that. I
check.
Check. Jill gets check. What movie was it?
It was. I'm sorry. I have to collect myself for a second. It was Star Wars Episode 1.
Or with the prequel?
Yeah. Yes, it was. It was either one. It was one, I think.
Oh my god! I feel like
Jar Jar Binks comes on the screen. I'm like, this movie's stupid. Put your hand in my pants.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I would need to accuse you, but mine is like equally as bad.
Oh yeah.
Mine was Beverly Hills Ninja.
Oh my God,
with
the Chris Farley vehicle.
Yeah.
Because I mean, how could you resist the beautiful essence of Chris Farley?
Well, here's the thing. I had no interest in Chris Farley. I just wanted to make out with my boyfriend.
Oh my gosh, Sandy, do you think that anyone has lost their virginity in a movie theater?
Of course.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
I mean, just having sex in a movie theater seems to me to be like ballsy.
It's super ballsy, but like it's definitely happened.
Do you think so? Oh, that'll be our internet question.
Yeah. Okay.
There we go. Well, okay, I think maybe we should go to that.
Let's take a break.
I'm excited to find out.
Let's take a break.
Has
and
anyone
find
had sex in a
out.
movie theater? Lost their virginity? All right. We'll be back and we're going to find out. Hey, you know the internet? Well, we're on it.
Or is it on us?
It might be in us.
I think the internet is within all of us.
I mean, it's in the title, internet. It's
Yeah.
entering you from behind.
That's deep.
Okay, find
and
us.
Sexy.
Find us. Enter us on at
Crudimentary Cues on the IFT.
That's right. You got it. Stay crude, dudes.
Back to the show.
And we're back. We're gonna ask the internet some saucy questions.
Oh God, we have some saucy questions.
So
for
I
the
did
internet.
I did find someone who has lost their virginity in a movie theater.
Oh,
Sandy.
for real.
Is it bad that I lost my virginity in a movie theater and that I told my current boyfriend? So there's a lot of layers there.
Wait. She lost her virginity in a movie theater, and
Right.
but not to her current boyfriend.
Right.
But then she told her current.
Correct. Okay. I'm going to keep going. Okay. So I went out with this guy for a month and I fell head over heels for him. He bought me a promise ring and everything.
Promise rings are bullshit.
Well, we were in the movie theaters watching Shudder and we decided to have sex. I was 14 and I'm 16 now. Well, we ended up breaking up, and after 6 months of being together, I now have a boyfriend who I really love and care about, and I told him where I lost my virginity at. He lost it in his bed with a girl he dated for 2 years. I lost mine in a movie theater after dating the guy for a month. Am I a slut? Or do you think my boyfriend thinks that? Here's an update.
I was gonna say that's a lot to unpack.
That's a lot to unpack. She added later. By the way, he's the only guy I've ever had sex with, and the way we did it is I was on top and we put his jacket around my waist so no one could see.
I'm sorry. Like that matters.
They're in the movie theater. And yes, I know I was only 14, but it was 3 days before I was turning 15.
Right.
I've only been with one guy and that's it.
I don't fucking care how many guys you've been with.
I mean, I think it's really interesting that she would assume she's like that her boyfriend thinks she's a slut just because she lost her virginity super young. That's not a slutty thing. That doesn't mean you're a slut.
Well, but all of the entire culture, sorry. I'm like mixing up my words because I'm trying to thread all of these, like the mindset of a married woman in her 30s, which I am, versus like the lady dating in her 20s in college, which I was, versus the lady who didn't date but had suitors in high school, which I also was.
Right,
And so
right.
that's a couple
Trying
roles.
to compare them all. Do you think that you, given the opportunity, would have lost your virginity younger or no?
If I was not told that losing my virginity would condemn me to hell,
Yeah.
I would have lost my virginity like that, the second I was able.
Yeah.
I was horny.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
I've been horny from 13 to now.
Yeah, I remember the first time I got horny. Do you?
Oh God, That's a great question, Jill. Okay. This is really dumb. But I actually think I know the answer to this question.
Great. What celebrity was it?
It was Harrison Ford.
I knew it. I knew it.
I love it.
I was like, I know it's got a celebrity. Yes, Harrison Ford is raw sexuality.
Oh my God.
He is
no,
prowess.
and I will tell you
He's
exactly
beautiful.
what. So we had not a ton of movies when I was growing up because I was raised like super evangelical Christian, and the movies were like super limited. But for some reason, we got Indiana Jones, and the Ark movie. And
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Raiders of the Lost Ark. Yeah, we got we got that movie, and then we also got Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. So we had those two movies, and we had them on VHS. And the Indiana Jones Raiders of the Lost Ark cover VHS had Harrison Ford, in like this like white shirt, like half undone, and he's
I'm already there.
like he's like holding a whip above, which is like hot enough. But then on his hips, he has a gun holster.
Mm-hmm.
And that gun holster
Mm-hmm.
looked like a dick.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Well, and I was really attracted to Han Solo, growing up watching the Star Wars movies. I was really attracted to Indiana Jones, and the older that dude got, the more I got attracted to him. I don't know what it is.
No,
I don't know what it is.
No,
Maybe the scar on his chin.
Oh,
Have you ever noticed he has a scar on his chin?
He's got a
and
scar on
it's
his
beautiful.
under his
like
his lip. He has a scar.
Yeah,
too.
and it's like I just want to kiss that thing.
Want to bite it? I wanna bite it. I want to bite it, and then I want to bite every part of his
I want to
body.
reopen it and like suck blood out of it. No, I'm sorry.
Well, that's the thing. So we had this VHS version of, or copy of, Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
But he wasn't your first crush, right?
No, he was.
He was your first crush?
Yeah.
Mine was Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Because he did the voice of Simba.
Oh my God, Simba! But he was also in the Home Improvement show.
And I was really obsessed with Disney movies, and I was attracted to cartoons more than human people, and animals more than human people. So I was really attracted to Simba.
Do you want to? Did you want to fuck Simba?
No, because it was a crush. It was more just I wanted to be a lion. I wanted to be Nala with Simba.
Right.
There was that moment though, like where he's like giving Nala, and Nala gives like Simba the bedroom eyes in the movie.
No, there is
It's
that
like,
moment, and I was
ooh.
very disturbed by that moment because I'm a little bit older than you, but I knew that it was like sex time,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Well,
She was like, "Do it to me."
she was
now.
like, give it to me." But
"Can you feel the love tonight? Because I
Can
want to feel it in my
you-
pants."
I want to feel the love tonight, all up in my vagina.
So like, yeah. So my first crush was Jonathan Taylor Thomas, and then it later evolved into like Ryder Strong, and
I
then
remember that guy. I remember that guy. I think he's dead.
I'm really literally no. You're thinking of the guy from Stand By Me.
Who died?
Who died? Yeah. Ryder Strong's still alive and kicking. He was in Boy Meets World, but you're thinking of.
It's okay if you don't think of it. If you can't think of it.
You're thinking of River Phoenix. Thanks, producer.
I am not thinking of River Phoenix.
Well, River Phoenix is a really cute guy, and he died.
No, the cute guys I think about don't die. They live forever in my dreams.
In your sex dreams.
They all live forever in my sex dreams.
And so then it
They all
became.
know. They all like pile into my bedroom, and then we listen to Hanson records together.
Oh, you were really into Hanson.
Hey, so we are going to take a break, and we're gonna call our dear friend.
Yes, we're going to ask him about when he lost his virginity. Hopefully it was in a movie theater. I hope that it was during Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh my God, wouldn't that be great? That would be so great.
Ask a guy. We need a man's opinion, so we'll ask a guy.
Hello.
Hey, Tony.
Hey, how's it going?
Going pretty good. Welcome to the podcast. Thanks for volunteering to be on the show.
No problem. I always answer all calls that say no caller ID. That's my thing.
Okay, we have a whopper for you.
Okay.
When did you and how did you lose your virginity?
Easy. I was in the basement of my parents' house on a pull-out couch with my girlfriend while my parents were upstairs. Yep, pull-out couch. While my parents were upstairs, like making dinner or something, and made the pull-out couch happen real quick.
Oh my gosh!
And just like went to town.
Stuck it in
For a very short amount of time.
Oh, you didn't last too long, huh?
No, it wasn't a long ordeal.
How old were you?
It was 15.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay,
Woo-hoo.
so I was also 15 when I lost my virginity, and apparently, Tony, it's really young. It's really young.
That's really young?
Yeah.
It's really young.
I was 23.
23? Holy shit.
I was saving myself for Jesus.
Dude, I don't think he even waited till he was 23.
No, he probably didn't, to be fair. I was a I was like a serial masturbator at that point.
Okay.
Because I was
all right.
pretty, I was pretty hard up. If
Yeah.
I wanted some action.
You were really hands-on.
I was very hands-on, and so when I went for it, and I was like, there was basically like at the beginning of a summer, right before I turned 23, I was like, I will not go another 4 months without getting some dick.
Okay, so
and then I did.
Yeah.
That was going to be my follow-up question for you, Tony, is so you lost your virginity to your girlfriend at the time. How long were you with her before you broke the seal, per se?
Broke the seal before we stopped using the protection?
No, before you did the deed, before you had sex.
I meant the hymen as a seal.
Oh.
A thing. Yeah.
All right. Man, so I was if I was 15, I mean, not even a full year.
Oh yeah.
Because
okay.
she was almost 18.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she was almost 18. She was going to be going to college at it was only like 45 minutes away, but I wanted to. We were ready to make it happen. It was in between my. She was going to be a senior, and I was going to be
a sophomore, right?
Let's see. Maybe
sophomore.
A sophomore.
Yeah.
I was going to be a sophomore. Yeah, I was going to be a sophomore. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's the same dynamic as me. I can't believe we have parallel virginity stories. It is so funny because I've been a little bit ashamed that I lost mine so early. But we were in love or whatever you want to call it.
Well, don't be ashamed.
Sure.
I waited 4 whole months in a relationship. 4 whole months.
So much.
That's a lifetime. That's a lifetime in your youth.
In high school, absolutely. And
I mean, it's a lifetime for me. I can't imagine going 4 months without sex now.
Well, technically, I went 15 years without sex at that moment.
Yeah.
As somebody who's, in and out of relationships, once you hit a good week mark, you start to kind of go, okay, man, I've got to. All right, this is what's happening.
Find a new
opening.
I gotta find a new hole.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It is interesting to be a guy in that situation. It's more protruding of a thought.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
That's very interesting. So I guess obviously our episode was about virginity.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny that you mentioned like wanting to get laid when you were so young. Like, what was the motivation? Was it just puberty, like knocking at your door or
I mean, it's
something? Or?
hormones and everything. Like, I would imagine.
I mean, yeah, but it's equally hormones as it is also like bragging rights.
Yeah.
Like it's or not even bragging rights, but like the pressure of not being the one who hasn't like done it. I mean, there was so much of that played into it, where just the societal pressures of
being a man.
Yeah.
Kids are. Yeah, well, I mean, and kids are mean, and like teenagers are mean, and like
Yeah.
every edge you can get as a youth, you go for those little edges. Like, yeah, you may be like a better basketball player, but you ain't fucking. You know what I'm saying? Like, so.
I was just gonna say that it's so interesting, like your perspective and Jill's perspective, almost anybody else's perspective, because when I was growing up, the badge of honor was how pure you were, like what you hadn't done. Yeah, and so you had my first couple of years in college, it was Bible college, and so we would end up with these like total dick measuring contests where we're saying like confessing to each other. I was like, I've made out with 3 boys, and they're like, oh no, I'm like 20 years old, and then they're like, I've never even kissed a boy, and we're like, oh, you're the best. It was like the exact opposite, and it's so strange.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, it is. I think it's different for being a guy. I mean, wouldn't you say that a guy's virginity is more shameful than a girl's virginity? Maybe? I don't know. What do you think, Tony?
Oh, to have? Yeah, I would say so. I would say, I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, there is no like, it's very hard to be called like a male slut.
Oh,
you know what
yeah.
I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you think any of your friends lied about losing their virginity?
Yes, of course they did.
For sure. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Of course.
I don't even
I always heard that there are 2 kinds of kids in the locker room, and this goes for like girls and guys' locker rooms, is that the people who are bragging about sex probably aren't having it, and the people who are keeping their mouths shut probably having it. It's like, if it's that important to you to like present this image, then you're probably lying. Like, you have this obvious incentive to lie about it.
Yeah, I think that, and also like even at that age, you are so, even if you have had it, it's not like it was good. Like, again, it was so bad, you don't want to talk about it. And now you don't even know how to talk about it.
Oh,
like, but if you can just keep it in like the realm of like pretend, then you can embellish and like, make it this amazing thing that you were just like actually watching like your dad's DVDs about, or like reading like Playboy or Hustler.
Yeah.
Until you actually have it and you're like, oh my gosh, like what have I done? I don't know how to even like, I don't want to say anything because I definitely don't want her to say anything. Like, and
you're like,
it's best to keep that secret.
It lasted 30 seconds, and you were both uncomfortable the entire time.
Right.
But it was done. It's kind of like this threshold you have to cross, and then you can start being amazing.
Yeah.
It just takes practice.
Yeah, I mean, it takes practice, like, and that in itself is a whole. Yeah, I mean, that's a whole other thing.
Do you think it's possible for anyone to ever become a virgin again?
I think that it is like something. Well, I know that like there's a procedure that women can have.
There's a medical procedure. It's called like hymen rejuvenation or something like that.
Ooh,
or hymen restoration. It's super sexist. It's incredibly patriarchal and puritanical, and it's basically used in like super religious countries that value a woman's quote unquote purity but not a man's, and so they just reconstruct the hymen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I just asked a wormhole of a question then.
Mm-hmm.
If you had sex once, let's say, and then waited, I don't know, 10 years to like do it again, I would say you're pretty much like right back where you started. Like, it's not like it got better or you learned anything.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
a second virginity thing.
Mhm.
Like, oh, I haven't had
Yeah,
sex in 10 years, so now I'm gonna lose my second virginity.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Sure,
I
sure.
like that
If somebody
idea.
had told me that, I would feel like I had done that.
Really?
Yeah, if somebody was like, I had sex once and it's been 10 years and that's it, I would be like, okay, you're a virgin. Like,
Oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely,
exactly.
absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
It's like virginity round 1 and then virginity round 2.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, exactly.
Well, thank you, Tony. I think the time is over now, but like, thank you so much for joining us and being so open, literally, and we really appreciate you sharing your story with us.
It's always a pleasure. I can't wait to do it again and look forward to our further phone calls and conversations.
Woohoo!
All right, we'll see you next time on the next Ask a Guy section.
Mhm.
So excited.
Yeah.
Hey, sounds good.
Yeah. All right. Have a good night, man. So thanks for listening to us talk about popping that cherry.
Yeah, and thank you, Tony, for giving us your virginity losing story.
When he popped that cherry, or he got the cherry pop. There were many cherries. They all popped, and it was bad. It wasn't good sex. It was our understanding of this situation.
Do you think that's where the phrase "once you pop, you can't stop" came from?
I definitely hope so, because that's for children.
Yes, it's not about Pringles chips. It's about your virginity.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you for tuning in, and listen to us next time.
And next time, see ya.
Bye.